From excelling separately in their own fields to almost sparring at dinner, Michael Jordan and Mike Tyson make for quite a story to tell. Let's rewind to the time that Mike was itching to land a punch on Jordan. The 60-year-old legend once attended a pretty tense dinner gathering. Why was it awkward, you ask? Well, it actually ended up being that way because of a talk he had with Mike Tyson. Oh, and the same woman they were having an affair with. A party honoring Chicago Bears defensive end Richard Dent's 28th birthday included Jordan and Tyson among the designated guests. As these things go, Tyson had himself a few drinks. That's when they abruptly began a confrontational exchange with Jordan. Obviously, the Chicago Bulls star didn't want to initiate a fight with the legendary boxer. Nobody wants that, now do they? Besides the two of them, coach Mike Ditka of the Bears, organizer Don King, and Rory Holloway, Tyson's co-manager, were all there too. Yep, they all got front row seats to the best dinner show ever. So, after Mike's done ordering, Holloway tries to steer things clear from the get-go, and he tells the server to dilute his drinks. After all, the two are already sitting across from each other, and there's alcohol involved. That's never a good combination now, is it? Now, Michael Jordan rarely backs down from confrontations. But that little instance got a tad too heated. In fact, a drunken and enraged Mike Tyson nearly beat up the man over his ex-wife. Michael Jordan and Mike Tyson are two of the most well-known athletes in their respective sports, and international stars. The two have made the most significant contributions to the histories of basketball and boxing respectively. Tyson was once the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world and was regarded as one of the most dangerous people on the planet. Then there's MJ, a six-time winner who is widely regarded as the GOAT of basketball.
No matter what the game is, or who you're playing against, you have to want the ball, the clock, the pressure. You block all that out. All you think about is what you have to do to win.
You guys may not know this, but that one evening, these stars almost collided, and the world would have gotten quite the kick out of it. Now let's talk about why. What else could cause two guys to come at each other's throats except a buttload of money or being in love with the same woman? It's giving can't have her, can't live without her vibes only. So let's talk about the gal. Then actress Robin Givens, who happened to marry Mike Tyson and later get divorced, was then rumored to be dating MJ when he first joined the NBA in 1984. And men tend to get very testy about their women, don't they? So, naturally, Tyson got very upset and angry despite the fact that their marriage was already over. And the new relationship had no bearing on the situation. But logic rarely plays a role in these cases. So, at the dinner in 1988, where attendees included people with the names MJ, Tyson, Don King, Richard Dent, and Mike Ditka, tempers frayed quite a bit. Rory Holloway, Tyson's longtime friend and manager, disclosed the whole thing in his book too. He wrote about how, while Dent was enjoying his birthday, Tyson drank quite excessively. So the alcohol probably contributed to what happened next. The fighter made the decision to let his feelings speak and attack everyone at the table, particularly MJ. Well, in his defense, the man was going through a divorce at the time too. He decided to address the guy and asked, "Hey buddy, you think I'm stupid?" And he obviously didn't just stop there either. He followed up with, "I know that you effed my B." Jordan just looks like he has just seen a ghost. But Mike isn't stopping. He says that he knows the basketballer messed with her, so he can't just say it and let him know. And Jordan? He knows better than to let this escalate any further. It's pretty clear that all he wants to do is stand up and leave. The man really doesn't want any part of this. That night, it truly was chaos. The rest of the attendees are pretty awkward at this point, as you can all imagine. So, Don King, the man, the legend, makes an effort to shift the topic, while John is busy taking one for the team as he attempts to restrain Mike and keep him calm. But the man really isn't in a listening mood. He even announced to everyone that he was going to humiliate Jordan. And Michael really just wants to exit the whole thing before it takes a turn for the worst. Well, it just goes on to show that if one guy keeps his cool, the men can really walk away from anything. And if one of the two is Mike Tyson, it makes keeping your cool a lot easier. Although on the outside Tyson may appear to be a rock, on the inside he is just a man with feelings. Going through the divorce with Givens had a negative psychological impact on him. Jordan most certainly had no malicious intent. The poor guy was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. And the whole time, he was just trying to keep himself from getting a black eye from the legendary fighter. Besides, he wasn't the only person that Tyson was mad at. The man had issues with each person at the table, but it was clear that he had beef with Jordan only. But that didn't stop him from continually warning everyone that he was going to beat Michael up. Can you even picture how it would have gone down in person at the time? But don't worry, the great Michael Jordan fled just in time. Phew, right? But a woman is not the only thing the two have in common. Both are particularly exemplary in their respective sports. Jordan experienced the kind of success that many sportsmen only dream of in the last decade of the 20th century. His Chicago Bulls established an NBA record and won 6 championships in an 8-year period. Because of Jordan, the NBA spread its popularity throughout the globe. That's phenomenal. At the same time, Mike Tyson excelled in a separate sport. At the age of 18, he made his professional debut in 1985. He was a dominant heavyweight king who achieved success and is still one of the all-time greats. But that doesn't mean the man had an easy way to the top. Although, is that ever the case? Throughout his life, the man faced many challenges, especially when he was a kid. Would you believe me if I said that the poor kid was frequently the target of bullying? Because it's true. The baddest man on the planet recently shared a new boyhood memory where he talked about his life in Brooklyn. In a video titled, "There's No Place Like Home," Tyson shared a depressing confession about his upbringing. He shared that his first home was in 2178. When he would arrive there, some people would be smoking marijuana and throwing dice. They would shove him and search his things. Despite having a difficult upbringing, Iron Mike overcame it all to become the icon he is today. Let's talk about his childhood. He grew up with a mother who struggled with addiction and a father who abandoned him. Young Tyson became involved in crime, and by the time he was 12, he had committed numerous burglaries and robberies on the streets of his community. So his early years were largely spent in and out of youth homes and detention facilities. But things changed for the better when he met Bobby Stewart in a young offenders facility in Tyrone, North Carolina. The man taught him the fundamentals of boxing in exchange for Tyson focusing on school. This ultimately brought Tyson into contact with Cus D'Amato. This guy adopted him and became his mentor and future coach. And the rest, as they say, is history. That's all from Mike Tyson's squabble with Michael Jordan.